Hello, and welcome back to Let's Play Ultima 6, The False Prophet. In our previous episode, we traveled to the Gargoyle Lands, where we learned some interesting information. In order to travel to the Shrine of Singularity, which we need to get to in order to acquire a quest, we need to be able to fly. In order to fly, well, we needed to come here to the town of Minoc, and there's a couple reasons for that. First off, some people told us that, but also, at one point, we came across a book when we were at the Lyceum. Ye Lost Art of Ballooning. Back in the days of the Avatar's quest, rumors spread of a strange sight in the skies. A tinker from the town of Minoc claimed to have rediscovered the lost art of ballooning. According to ancient lore, this was a mystical practice that allowed one to soar through the air, higher than the birds themselves. No records have been found of the rituals used to perform this feat, but several farmers from the area still tell tales of strange sights. A strange sphere was seen, way up in the sky, and the voices of men could be heard drifting down from it. The apparition drifted up into the clouds and was lost to sight. This took place years ago, and naught has been heard of the mystic art of ballooning since that time. So obviously, flight is something that's here in the town of Minoc. Now, we ended up going back to the Gargoyle Lands after sailing our ship here because we had to ask one other question that we had forgotten. And then we came back and we left off up on that road up here. So let's go ahead and continue off as if we had just arrived in our ship. Now, we're here in the town of Minoc, which is the town of sacrifice. We're here to get our rune of sacrifice and mantra because, of course, we want to free the shrine from the gargoyles. But while we're here, we also want to try to find something out about some way to learn how to fly, perhaps using, like they said, the lost art of ballooning. Let's go ahead and rest really quickly for just a few hours until it's daylight. And then we should be able to speak with the townsfolk and maybe find something out about the things that we need to know. Alright, there's daybreak. And here we are in the town of Minoc. Now let's see what this first building is here. Looks kind of official looking with those fountains. No one's here yet. We might be a little too early in the day. Ah, yes, someone's asleep. Thou dost see a woman. Let's let her rest for a moment. Let's pause our game and, or pass our turns, and we'll wait until she wakes up here. There we go. This looks like this may be the mayor of the town. The mayors are usually good people to speak to in order to get the mantra and rune of any particular town. You see a woman of elegant demeanor, wearing a finely embroidered dress. Ah, my lord Attentive, the famous Avatar. I have heard much of thy exploits, but never expected to meet you in person. 'Tis indeed an honor. Well, the honor is all mine, Miss, I am Lady Isabella. Thy name, of course, is well known throughout the land. Well known, you say? The tales of thy exploits are known by even the smallest of children. Ah, I recognize thee from the portrait Woodruff made of thee the last time thou camest to our land. Woodruff, you say? One of the finest artisans that ever dwelt in Minoc. Alas, he died of the flu 2 years ago. Oh, that's too bad. Aye, a pity that. Now Woodruff was an artisan, as she said. Minoc is a town well known for their artisans. Glass blowers, makers of fine instruments, sculptors, shipbuilders, basket weavers, anything that requires skilled labor, an artisan's eye, a fine touch or invention. You can find that here in Minoc. It is the town of the Tinkers, and it is also, as I said before, the town of the virtue of sacrifice. Let's go ahead and ask her about Minoc. The Artisans Guild is located here. Oh, the Artisans Guild, you say? And your job, of course. 'Tis my privilege to be mayor of Minoc, the city of sacrifice. We are renowned for our fine craftsmen. We were entrusted with the rune of sacrifice. Ah, the rune. I gave it to Selganor, the Artisans Guild master. When the rune of sacrifice was sent to our city, I entrusted it to their care. That's fair enough. Oh yes, we already said the Artisans Guild is located here. So you gave it to Selganor, you said. He's a fine musician. He lives just across the road from me in the guild hall. If I weren't so busy, I'd take lessons from him myself. I'm sure being a mayor keeps you very busy. Aye, this is a big city. And you said that he's in the guild hall. Oh, okay, yes. Well, we already talked to her about that. What about the mantra? The good healer Tara should be able to tell you the mantra. Ah, Tara, you said. Go ask at her house on the north side of town. Tara is a very compassionate woman. Okay, good enough. And what about the gargoyle invasion? Do you know anything about that? I've heard rumors of such creatures, but I know no one who has actually seen one. So while we're here, let's ask about balloons. Do you know anything about ballooning? Aye, thou wouldst be interested to hear of that. The balloonist flew off on an important mission and never returned. Really? Selganor should be able to tell you more about that. Tell me, is it true you once rode in a balloon whilst on the quest of the Avatar? Yes, I did indeed. It must have been wonderful to drift amongst the very clouds. And you said he was on a mission. Yes, ask Selganor. Okay, well, we have a path forward. Let's go speak with this Selganor, who apparently works in the Artisans Guild. Farewell, and please honor us with your presence again soon. Alright, now he lives apparently across the road. So let's go here. Here's the cross street, I believe. This must be the Artisans Guild. Let's see who we can find. Oh, there's a couple people. Here's a merchant. Let's talk with him. You see a short, barrel-chested man. A good morning to the Avatar. What is your name, sir? I am Dale, the glassblower. A glassblower, you say? If you'd like to buy some of my glassware, just say the word. Probably can't buy any of it right now, because I don't think he's in his shop. Come to my shop when it's open, of course. I wonder, do you sell glass swords? I know how to make glass swords, but there is little demand for them. I require 5 gems for the crafting. This is too expensive for most. Aye, but things of beauty they are. Well, glass swords come in handy, and we have quite a few gems, so we may talk with this guy later about that when his shop is open. Thou seems like a person who appreciates art. I'll make thee one if thou hast the gems. And again, come to my shop when it's open. I wonder if he knows anything. Remember we were talking about the gargoyle lens and finding somebody who knows how to work with glass. You'd have to see a lens maker about that. I hear there's one near the Lyceum. Ah, we do know about the lens maker near the Lyceum. Ephemerides, I believe is his name. I don't know how to pronounce it exactly off the top of my head. Alright, well he won't be able to help us with the lens issue, but if we ever need glass swords. A fine morning to thee. Alright, let's see who this gentleman is. You see a slender, graceful man tuning a lute. Oh, hello. Maybe you can help me with something. My nephew is studying alchemy, and he needs to know this. What part of the nightshade mushroom is used in spell casting? Ah, okay, so once again we're struck by the need for some copy protection in the game. Fortunately, we have our Ultima 6 manual right in front of us, with all of the lists of the alchemical ingredients, of the reagents. He wants to know what part of the nightshade mushroom is used in spellcasting. Well, according to the book here, retain only the fungal cap and discard the tough stalk. So it's the fungal cap that is used in spellcasting. Thanks! Now what can I do for you? Alright, let's go ahead and ask him, what is your name, sir? My name is Selganor. 'Tis a name with a long history. But you have the look of one with more important business. Well, I don't know. I'm interested in the history of your name, sir. It means Seeker of the Crystal. Perhaps I'll tell you more some other time. Well, what about the crystal? It's quite a tale. Indeed. I guess we're not going to get any more out of him from that story. But we'll talk about the, quote, more important business. Perhaps you're interested in joining the guild. Perhaps, yes. What would be involved in that? If you want to join the guild, you need to do 2 things. First, you need to make a set of pan pipes. Julia can teach you how to do that. You also need to commit stones to memory. 'Tis a simple tune. Ask Gweno to play it for thee. Ah, okay, so we need to make a set of panpipes, and Julia can help us with that. I wonder if that's the same Julia we traveled with, or at least had the option to travel with in Ultima 4 and 5, the companion of one of the 8 companions of the Avatar, the one associated with the virtue of sacrifice. We also need to learn the song Stones, which is a famous song in the Ultima series written by Yola himself, or rather his real-life counterpart, David Watson. And he wants us to ask Gweno to play it for us. Alright, well let's ask him about these things. So we need to have a set of panpipes. Have you made a set of panpipes? No, not yet. Oh well, Julia can show you how if you need help. She made my lute, and most of our other instruments as well. She lives just across the road, next door to Lady Isabella. Oh, okay. Well, we were just over at Isabella's house. She's the mayor. Yes, we just met her. I prefer stringed instruments. They make such lovely sounds. And you said we should talk with Gweno. I know she's around here somewhere. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to track her down. And she's going to teach us the song Stones. Have you made a set of panpipes? Okay, no, we already talked to him about this. Now, I wonder what he knows about ballooning. Oh, are you looking for the man who invented the balloon? He stares upward, stroking his chin pensively. Ah, yes, now I remember. He flew to Sutek's castle. Said something about a big job he had to do there. Sutek's castle? Who is Sutek? Sutek lives on an island, far to the south. An island, you say? It's east of Serpent's Hold. Okay, well, we know where Serpent's Hold is. That's the island of Courage, located pretty far south on the map, and if there's an island to the east of that, well, we can always go looking for that. Luckily, we have a ship to use. Well, let's ask you about the rune that was given to you. I'd be glad to loan you the rune, but only members of the guild are allowed to handle it. Ah, okay, so hence that's why we have to join the guild. If we join the guild, he'll give us the rune. So we need to go talk to Julia, and we need to go talk to Gweno. So let's get on with that part of the quest. It was nice talking to you. In addition, if we want to learn how to fly, we need to go speak with this balloonist who went to an island where someone named Sutek lives, far to the south. Either way, while we're here in Minoc, let's complete the rune quest really quick, and that way we can also probably free the Shrine of Sacrifice. You see a sturdy woman with calloused hands in a loud manner. Well, then the rumors are true. 'Tis well and good that ye have returned to our land, Avatar. And what is your name? Named Julia I am, my lord, and pleased to meet ye. Now here's something that's caused a little bit of confusion over the years. Julia was, in previous games, one of the companions of the Avatar. You know, again, based on a real-life person that Richard Garriott knew. And she was one of your stalwart companions. She could join you in Ultima 4, she could join you in Ultima 5, and here in Ultima 6, like some of the other people, she's acting like she's never met you before. It's just a little bit of inconsistency in the game lore, but we'll go ahead and ignore that, and we'll just move on with talking to her. Your job, Julia? Instruments I make, the finest in the land. Not to be immodest, but I'm respected by all the guild. Ah, but give it all up I would, for a life of adventure like your own. Okay, so you're respected by all of the guild. If you would like to be a member, too, go talk to Selganor. Well, we would like to, but we need panpipes. He's the guild master. Of course. Well, we need to make panpipes before we can do any of that. Sent you to me, they did. Aye, I can believe that. Now, the panpipes are a tricky instrument. You've got to have the finest wood. If you want to learn how to make pipes, you'll need to bring a yew board. But it must be freshly cut. Do you have a fine yew board for me this morning? Not yet, unfortunately. No? What are you, daft? I cannot be making pipes without wood. Go to yew, where they grow the best wood in Britannia. Buy a freshly cut yew log and take it to a sawmill. Have them cut it into a board and bring it back here. Then I'll show you how panpipes are made. Okay, and it has to be freshly cut. And then she gives us the same instructions. Okay, well, that looks like our next step. We have to travel to the town of Yew, but she said she's interested in the life of adventure. Aye, I'd join ye if you wish. I think we have too many people for anybody to join us, but let's see what happens. Join me? Join ye? Me? Ah, I can tell that ye say that to everyone ye meet. Ask me again when you haven't as many companions. Yeah, we already have 8 people in our party, so we actually can't fit anybody else in our party. So for now, she can't join us. Maybe we'll come back later if we decide to have one of our party members leave. May fortune follow ye on thy way. Alright, well let's continue looking around the town just a little bit while we're here. We still have to get the mantra after all. And this looks like a healer's house based on that sign. Perhaps this is where Tara lives. You see a kindly old woman. Welcome to my place of healing, Avatar. I hope thou needst not my services. What is your name, lady? My name is Tara. Ah, that's what we were looking for. And your job? I'm the healer for this town. I've cared for the unfit here for 60 years. The unfit, you say? Those who need healing, curing, or to be resurrected. Well, I hear that you know the mantra of sacrifice. Ka! That is the word of sacrifice. Excellent. So we have the mantra of sacrifice. C-A-H. We will remember that, and if we are able to get the rune, we can use that to free up the shrine. Farewell! Alright, let's continue walking around the town here. Let's see what this building is here. Looks like someone's shop. Ah, this looks like it might be the glassblower shop. I see a bunch of glass implements and forge. This must be where Dale works. We've already talked to him, so we'll continue on our way. Looks like someone's house. Someone's house. We won't bother with that. And we passed a building over here, which I believe that was Julia's shop, and this must be her house. Yeah, so let's continue on the way. Let's see who this person is. A musician. You see a plainly dressed bard. Hello, Attentive. Now, we should already know who she is, but we'll act like we don't. It's me, Gweno. You have been away from our realm a long time, haven't you? Gweno is, of course, again based on a real-life person, based on David Watson's actual real-life wife, and in the game, Gweno is the wife of Yolo. What is your job, Gweno? Yolo's apprentice has taken over my job at Yolo's Bows. These days, I've been transcribing the folk songs of Britannia into numerical notation for the Artisans Guild. Of course, if you need my help, I could leave the guild for a time and join you. Now, Gweno is a very capable party member. It'd be nice to have her join, but unfortunately, you have enough traveling with you already. If you ask one of them to leave first, I'd be happy to join you. We may come back and have her join us if we decide on that. For now, our party's already pretty good, so... Either way, let's continue asking her about her stuff. So, Yolo's apprentice, she said. If you need a good crossbow, the shop is in Britain, over by the Blue Boar. Well, we already know about that. We visited it a few times in this game already. It's a lively place. That it is. And she talked about Yolo's bows here. A bit scruffy, but he's the sweetest husband I could ever ask for. Yolo says, "You're only saying that because it's true." He gives her a kiss. All right, and then she talked about transcribing the songs into notation for the Artisans Guild. The songs of a people are an important part of their heritage. Putting them down on paper helps preserve our traditions for future generations. I'm so glad you appreciate the value of tradition. And you said you're putting them into a numerical notation? A number for every note, and a note for every number. Well, that's actually very similar to what happened in the real world, where music used to be passed on from generation to generation, and it wasn't until relatively recently in history that things were written down and notations were devised, tabulature for string instruments and other forms of notation for other instruments. It looks like that's what she's involved in doing for Britannia's songs. Each note is represented by a number. Each number represents one note. I knew you'd catch on. Okay. I wonder if she can play us a song. Oh, Selganor sent you, did he? I bet you want to learn stones. Actually, we do. He sent us to go ahead and play the song. Yep, he is the guildmaster. Selganor can tell you more about the guild than I could. So yes, we would like to learn how to play stones. In the standard numerical notation, it reads 678-987-876-7653. All right, we'll write that down here, and we'll remember that for if we ever get some panpipes, we can take that to Selganor and learn the song Stones with him. Nice talking with you. Okay, so let's continue and see who else we can meet while we're in this town. Here's an interesting looking building. Looks like a bunch of beehives and baskets. You see an industrious young woman. How can I help thee this fine afternoon? Well, what's your name? I'm Michelle. Thou needn't tell me thy name, Attentive. The Avatar is famous throughout the land. And your job? I weave baskets and beehives, just like my father and his father before him. My baskets are sold throughout Britannia, she adds proudly. Oh, okay. Father once told me a story of weaving a basket large enough for 8 people. He never showed me the plans, though. 8 people. Yes, without accurate plans, it takes far too much time to craft a basket. Well, the only kind of basket that I know of that would be able to fit 8 people would be a basket that goes under a balloon. Interesting. I wonder if her father was involved in making the balloon for that balloonist we talked about. Yeah, when I ask her about balloons, she talks about the basket large enough for 8 people. Interesting, but she can't do anything without any plans. So if we ever have some kind of balloon plans, we could always maybe bring them to her. Oh, excuse me. I was going to ask her job. So yes, she said she weaves baskets and beehives just like her father. And we don't really need to buy any of her stuff right now. We don't need a basket right now. All right, though, I can give thou the best price in the land. Farewell, I hope I've aided thy quest. If we are in need of a basket, and if we're going to make a balloon, we might need a basket. Assuming we can't get the balloon from the balloonist that we're going to go look and find, maybe we'll keep in mind that Michelle is here, and maybe she can be a help to us later. All right, we'll keep that in mind for later on. Let's see what's over this way. You see a stunningly beautiful young woman. The woman never looks up from the book she's reading, even when you speak to her. Yes, what do you want? Well, what is your name? My name's Doris, but you can just call me Hey You. Everyone else does. Somehow I don't think she's happy about that. She sounds a little sarcastic. Let's try it. Hey you. Typical, she mutters. Yep. Well, what is your job? Hey, I mean Doris. I'm in charge of the Tinker's Inn while my father's away. If you have any complaint, no matter how trivial, please feel free to bother me. It doesn't really sound like she means what she says. You said your father's away? My father called me back from the Lyceum so that he could go fight the gargoyles. Oh, the Lyceum, that's, we've been there more than a few times. Yes, I'm learning the mystic arts from the great Xiao. Though I doubt you'd know much about that sort of thing. Well, actually, she is the wisest mage in all Britannia. Only she can teach the spells of the greatest power. Yes, in fact, Xiao is one of the ones you speak with in order to get spells of the 8th circle. That's right. So I'm guessing her job is to do rooms for the night? Yeah, we could get 5 gold per night for a room, which we don't need right now, but it's good to know that it's here. She mutters as you leave. So she's obviously not happy to be here. It's interrupting her studies, as it were. Let's see what this building is. Oh, looks like a shop of some kind. You see a tall, muscled man with a wide grin. Hello, he says, lumbering over to you and extending a large hand. What can I do for you? Well, what's your name, sir? Trevor. And your job? I sell ships and skiffs. Okay, well, we already have a ship and we don't need one of those right now. So long, friend. He lumbers back to his work. Let's see what this building is. It looks like an armory of some kind. You see a young lad. A good afternoon to you, my lord. What can I do for thee? Well, what's your name, sir? Me name's James, my lord. And your job? I'm just the apprentice. But if you want to buy or sell something, I can help you. Okay, the apprentice, you say. Me master went off to fight the gargoyles. He ain't been heard from since. I'm just minding the place till he gets back. Well, you might have a little longer of a wait than you think if the war's been going the way it seems to have been going. You might be more than the apprentice before you know it. Either way, what do you sell, sir? Be more specific, my lord. Me master has quite a large inventory. Well, let's see what kind of armor he sells. Let's see, they have chain coifs, mail, ring mail, scale mail, and winged helm. Nothing we particularly need right now. What about arms? Dagger, mace, mangosh, a morning star, and a sword. Again, nothing we really need. Our party's pretty well equipped at this point. Good afternoon to you, and I hope you come back soon. It's good to know that there's an armory here, though. If we have extra stuff that we want to sell, we can always come back here. Let's see, there's a lot of clocks. You see a spidery-looking man with delicate hands. Hello. What's your name, sir? My name is Troy. And your job? I make clocks. The movements of the various parts are very complex and interconnected. Like the moons and stars, or the pieces on a chessboard. You make clocks, you say? The ticking of the clocks is the pulse of civilization. Pulse of civilization? Without clocks, people would just sit around uselessly, with no idea what to do next. I don't know about that, but okay, why not? The ticking, you say? Of course, the ticks would be useless without the talks. The talks? They're much deeper sounding. They're much and more satisfying than the ticks. Okay then. You said it's much like the moons? Ephemerides is going to build a model of the whole system. I helped him design the gearwork that makes it go. Oh, did you? He lives at the Lyceum. Yes, we've met him at least once, I know. It's a great center of learning. If you didn't run around asking foolish questions all the time, you might learn something yourself. Ahem. Wow. So you helped him design the gearwork. I know all about gears. I guess you'd have to if you're a clockmaker. You know, they operate on the movement of gears and mechanical parts. You said that's also like the movement of pieces on a chessboard. I like to play chess. Keeps one's mind fit. Some people don't use theirs, but I do. Okay then, Troy. Until we come into conjunction again. Does he actually sell anything? The sound of the clocks is so soothing. Excuse me, did you say something? Alright, let's move on with this. So, we need to go ahead and get a U-log. And in order to do that, we need to travel to the town of U. Now to do that, we could use our Orb of the Moons. As usual, let's go ahead and go to YOLO's inventory here. And place it 2 spaces to the east of the avatar. Here we go, now we're in the town of U. And as you may remember, there's a gentleman who lives just outside of town. You kind of have to go around this way. And you want to head down into the west. Now, we don't want to go too far south here, or we run into where some enemies are. But if we continue following this river and head up this way, there should be an opening in the woods, and we should be able to find where this woodcutter lives. Ben, I think was his name, if I remember correctly. Yep, and we met him before. I remember him being a little bit of a hostile type of character. Very grumpy. You see a man as large as the trees that surround his cottage. Ha! Sneaking around in my forest, huh? I told you once already that I want to be left alone. We just want a log, sir. Aye, are you here to buy a log? Yes. Who wants it? Logs is 5 gold apiece. You still want one? Yes, sir. Ben takes Attentive's gold and hands over a fine yew log. Ben seems friendlier now. I think that's all we really need from him, so let's go ahead and... Careful in those woods now. What if I talk to him again? Hello again, friend. Now that we've bought something from him, he's a little friendlier. I guess he's tired of people wasting his time. Careful in those woods now. Alright, so let's head back to the town of Minoc. Now, in order to do that, we can once again use the Orb of the Moons. This time we place it 2 spaces to the south and 2 to the east of the avatar. Now, as you may remember in the last episode, we used our Moonstone to travel back to Minoc really quickly. As you may remember, it's not in the town itself, it's just off to the side, on the other side of these mountains here. So we need to go around the mountains to get back to town. And as we do, we pass this building. Now, we skipped by this building last time, we didn't go in here. So let's see who lives in here. It's a farmer. You see a plump blonde man with curly blonde hair and a cheerful face. Hello, hello! What can I do for you this afternoon? Well, what's your name, sir? My name's Aaron. And your job? I run the sawmill. Is there anything I can do for thee? Oh, a sawmill. Yes, I saw logs into boards. That's exactly what we need. We happen to have a board with us. Or we have a log with us that we need turned into a board. I see Attentive has a yew log. He inspects the wood with a practiced eye. Good grain. Yes, I can make a fine board out of this log. But it'll cost thee 5 gold, Attentive. Still interested? Absolutely. Aaron goes to his saw and turns the log into a flat, sanded board. There! He hands Attentive the finished product. Fantastic. Farewell! Let's look at our inventory real quickly. And yes, as you can see, the avatar now has a board in his inventory. Thou dost see a yew board. It weighs 1.0 stones. Let's go ahead and walk back into town really quickly. We'll run back to Julia really quickly and we will give her that board and get some panpipes. To her. Do you have a fine new board for me this afternoon? Yes, we do. Aye, and good wood it is too. A fine set of pipes this will make. Julia sets the wood down on a bench and starts carving. As you watch, the rough board slowly turns into smooth wood rods. Then she hollows out each rod and pegs them all together. Lastly, she notches each tube and cuts them all to the proper lengths. And there it is, my lord, a set of panpipes fit for any bard in the land. She hands you the finished pipes. Fantastic! May fortune follow ye on thy way. So now we have the panpipes. Let's use them really quickly and let's type in the notations for stones. Let's take these quickly to Selganor and we can go ahead and get that rune. Hello, there's something I need to ask you. What was it? Oh yes, now I remember. Have you made a set of panpipes? Yes, we have. He inspects the pipes. Very good indeed. Now tell me the sequence of notes and stones, and I'll induct you into the guild. Numeric notation will be fine. Well, that's good, because numeric notation is all we know. 678, 987, 876, 7653... Excellent! He strums a chord on his lute, then taps you lightly once on each shoulder with it. You are now a full member of the Guild of Artisans. He reaches into a belt pouch, takes out the Rune of Sacrifice, and hands it to you. I'm sure you'll be needing this in your travels. I know you'll find some solution to this gargoyle problem. Well, with your help, Selganor, I think we're that much closer to it. Thank you very much, sir. It was nice talking to you. All right, we now have the rune and the mantra of sacrifice, and a way forward to find that way of learning how to fly, in this case, a balloon. We need to travel south, down to an island, to the east of Serpent's Hold, where someone named Sutek lives, and that's where the balloonist went. Maybe we can talk with Sutek, he might know more about this, or maybe we can find that balloonist and either borrow their balloon or buy it from them, or maybe they can teach us how to make one of our own. Either way, our ship is here, we're ready to go sailing south, and we're going to head down to that island and find out more about ballooning. In our next episode, we're traveling to the island of Sutek. I'll see you then.